Hello everyone, I'm MUNIFC and this is Blue Lines TV, and today I'm bringing you another Predict That 11 for our upcoming game against Everton in the Carabao Cup. Now before I get into the video, I need everyone to go to the subscription tab. On the right hand side you're going to see a bell notification sign. I need everyone to click on that and press on that. You know why? Because that's how you stay up to date with all things Blue Lines TV, because I've noticed that only 10% of subscribers have actually get notified to every upcoming video, and that's really not a lot. So I really need to start pushing and promoting people to press the bell notification so you're up to date with every single video. Now we have been told a few telling things in regards to our upcoming game. Conte was basically asked how he sees the Carabao Cup, and he was basically stating that it's not the most important trophy or competition, and he feels that it's a great opportunity to show what the youngsters can do, because he's saying that the likes of MUSONDA and Kennedy are improving in training, and it's a great test to really see how far they've come recently. Now moving on to the first 11 predictions, starting with the goalkeeper, and yes, Willy Caballero will be playing, and I feel that Willy Caballero is a very good addition to the squad. He's completely different in goalkeeping style to Courtois because he is a natural sweeper keeper. He's very good from playing out from the back, great with his distribution, and he can pick a pass, and I feel that that's one attribute in Courtois' game that he really lacks. He doesn't perform it at a high enough level, and I feel that, especially as I've been talking about us getting pressed in so easily and really struggling to play out from the back, Caballero is going to add something very important towards that. Now moving on to the back three, starting with the right hand side, and yes, Antonio Rudiger will regain his place in the team, and I must say, I have been telling people he's another player like Bakayoko that is going to need time adapting to the Premier League. I've seen a few good things and I've seen a few bad things. He definitely has a lot of things to iron out in this game, and I might sound a bit biased even though I don't think I am, but when I compare Zuma to Rudiger, Zuma was looking more accomplished in his performances compared to Rudiger, but it's quite funny how it seems like Rudiger will get the opportunity to really iron out all of his weaknesses because he will get the game time. Still, a game like this is going to be good for Rudiger because it's a very low pressure game where he's going to be able to use this game as an opportunity to really regain his confidence and really become 100% comfortable playing for Chelsea and playing in this system, because he does have a lot of good attributes. He's passing out from the back and he's got a lot of tenacity in his tackle and good aerial ability, but there's other things like his positioning, timing of the tackle, the amount of fouls he gives away, and sometimes not getting as tight to his striker as he should be. But again, it's only time he needs to really nullify those weaknesses. Moving on to the middle of the back three, and yes, Christensen will regain his place rightfully back in the team, and I feel it's quite a shame that even though he's been probably our best defender and Luis hasn't been playing in the team, I don't understand why he hasn't given a chance. Now, when I do look at the left centre backs and the right centre backs, what really makes them accustomed? What attributes do they possess that really makes them suited to playing in those wide positions? I don't really see it. I just think that Conte feels that playing Christensen in the middle is less of risk compared to playing him out wide. But I feel that with Christensen's passing ability, we need this guy in the first team because he's going to help us beat opposition press, because he's going to become a passing outlet. When our two midfielders are getting marked, when Luis and Aspi are getting marked too, we need someone comfortable in possession, confident in possession, who's able to play out, and literally that's that free man we need to really help us play out. Now moving on to the left hand side of the back three, and I feel that Cahill will be playing there. Of course, he is the captain of the team, and it feels that Conte really puts a lot of credence in who the captain is for a team. Cahill, you know my thoughts and opinions on him. Even though he's a good defender, I feel that he doesn't fit this team 100% from a tactical standpoint. I feel that he weakens Alonso on that left hand side. I feel that he's not a passing option because players aren't confident playing the ball to him, because he doesn't do anything good with the ball in possession, and he just contributes to us being pressed in too easily. And I feel that Conte only picks him due to their captaincy. Do I think it's right? I don't agree personally, but again, he is a decent defender. He's good, good aerially. He's good positioning when he's actually in central positions, but he is quite limited, especially compared to all the other Chelsea defenders. Now moving on to the wing back position, starting with left wing back, and that's Kennedy. Conte has said in that press conference yesterday that Kennedy has been looking good in training. My personal opinion is, I don't understand why Kennedy plays as a left wing back. This guy was originally signed to play on the right. He was basically supposed to be the new Hulk. He's got an amazing left foot, very powerful, great with his long shots, great at cutting inside. I don't see what's going to happen with him as a left wing back. I don't see him becoming a top class player like he had the potential to possibly be playing there. But if anything, wing back positions is probably more suited to Kennedy because it gives him the room to, and the space to attack and get forwards compared to playing as a fullback where you have to be more defensively disciplined. Still, Kennedy looked decent against Nottingham Forest, but it is Nottingham Forest, so is that really a good litmus test to really see how good he is as a left wing back? I'm not too sure, but if anything, more game time is what this kid needs. And as I said earlier during the season, I feel very, very, very sorry for him that his loan move was terminated because Chelsea forced him to stay to be a squad option. He could have been playing week in, week out at Newcastle, and to think he's going to be 22 and he still hasn't played a full season of football yet in his entire career. Moving on to the right wing back position, I feel that Zappa Costa is going to play over Dujon Sterling. Of course, it's probably good for Zappa to play these games from a coach's perspective because he needs to get used to Chelsea more. Now, we're seeing a lot of good things from Zappa Costa. He's got a lot of good and a lot of bad. His best attributes, his willingness to drive and get forward, his willingness to get down that byline. He's got fantastic crosses and he's very dynamic. But at the same time, sometimes his use of the ball in possession isn't as good as it should be. And defensively, position-wise, he's not as great compared to going forward. But at the same time, I always feel that when you do have, let's say, two players in the same position, I'd rather have two players with different dynamics. Moses is someone that's comfortable in possession, linking up the play, getting forward one-on-one, and Zappa Costa's more dynamic about getting down there quickly, putting a cross in. So sometimes it's good to have contrasting styles in a position. But I must say that I do like Zappa Costa, even though he has his limitations. I like how he plays with heart, desire, and what he adds to the team. Sometimes you just need to play more directly, and Zappa Costa really, he really is an example of playing direct football. Now, moving on to the midfield too, and I think Conte is going to take a risk here. I feel that AMPADU might be getting his first team debut. He'll be starting the game. I feel that with Bakayoko, Conte has said in previous conferences that he has been getting slight knocks. But you have to realise with Bakayoko as well, he hasn't had a pre-season. He isn't 100% fully fit just yet. And I feel that for him to have another demand playing another full game isn't what's best for him, especially when we have Bournemouth coming up this week. And I feel that Conte will be playing AMPADU alongside Cesc Fabregas. Now, AMPADU, I haven't seen as much of him. I'm going to try and do a lot of research really to try and fully get in tune with what type of player he is. But I do know that he does play out from the defence in Chelsea's youth team. And I feel that Conte feels comfortable using AMPADU in midfield for the first team because he has the attributes that Conte likes in a midfield player. Tenacity in the tackle, big, strong, very quick with playing out from the back, decent technical ability as well. And I feel compared to any other central midfielder player that we have in the youth team, AMPADU probably is more of a Conte-like player. Now, moving on to Cesc Fabregas, I feel that he will be partnering alongside AMPADU, and I feel that that's actually a good partner for AMPADU to have. Cesc will walk him through the game. AMPADU's ability to win the ball back, his bravery in the tackle, as we've already seen against Nottingham Forest, I feel that it'll be a good outlet for him because once he wins the ball, Cesc will have it and Cesc will start to, dictate proceedings. And I've always liked that type of midfield partnership, your ball winner and your deep lying playmaker. I think that's a tried and tested formula. It just works. Now, moving on to the front three, starting with the left wing position, and it looks like MUSONDA will be playing again in this game. I feel that Conte, because he's Conte, he isn't 100% fully comfortable in using a young player in Premier League games, but I really feel that this game against Everton is probably MUSONDA's biggest game in his career so far because finally he's playing against, a strong opposition in an Everton team where he will be starting. And because he's starting, he'll be touching the ball more. He has more of an opportunity to really, direct proceedings and really show what he's about. And I really feel that if Conte is pleased with MUSONDA's performance, if he can get another goal, which I feel he really needs to do, or maybe get a few assists, then Conte will start looking at him as a real alternative in Premier League matches. So I'm hoping Charlie he's probably excited for this. He doesn't have much game opportunity. The type of player he is, he has that confidence in his natural ability. He's gonna want to show what he's about, and I feel that if he performs in this game, especially against Everton, expect to see MUSONDA more often throughout the season. Moving on to the right wing position, and Willian will probably be playing in this game. Of course, his form hasn't been too great recently. I think playing as more of like an inside forward in the system doesn't really suit him, because as you've noticed, Willian is too susceptible to losing the ball when players coming from behind him and brush him off. Willian likes to, face the play in front of him, especially playing on that right hand side where he's not able to cut inside like he would normally do on the left hand side or playing in the middle. So like I've always said, I've always felt that Willian, kind of like what's happening to Mkhitaryan at Man United, they've had to adapt their positions to actually get a place in the team. I don't think we'll ever see what the real Willian can do, because we've got Eden Hazard and other players that play on the left. But he still is a good player, we can't forget that. And hopefully his confidence will slowly start to regain. And finally, moving on to the striker, and I see Mitchie continuing to start in this game after his very impressive cameo against Watford. But as I was stating, the reason why his cameo against Watford was so impressive was the fact that you had Eden Hazard effectively playing close to him, meaning that Mitchie wasn't getting double marked anymore, because what Mitchie can't do is the link up play, dropping deep, hold up play. You have to look at it through his perspective. This guy is a guy that plays on the last line, fox in the box type of striker. As I said, he's probably the best finisher at Chelsea, left foot, right foot with his head. He knows where to attack the box to get goals, but in terms of a football player, he just isn't there yet. And in Conte's system, the striker needs to be a good football player, because he needs to link up effectively with the two wide players supporting him. And I feel that Mitchie isn't really improving in that regards, but I do feel that maybe Conte should understand, if I don't have a Morata playing and I've got Mitchie, maybe I need to adapt what I expect from him. Play someone closer to Mitchie, give him space so he can get on the end of things, because when Mitchie gets on the end of things, that's when you see a good striker. But anyway, you guys, that's the lineup I see us facing Everton on Wednesday. What do you guys think in the comment section? Let me know later on. Of course, please like, comment and subscribe, and don't forget the bell notification sign beside the subscription tab. Stay tuned, click on that to stay tuned to everything Blue Lions TV so you don't miss out on any future videos. And of course, sign up to the UFF app. That's going to be in the description below. Make sure you do it. It's releasing today, it's launching today. It's basically a video platform service, and I'm going to be releasing exclusive content. It's going to be digestible content, probably between a minute to 5 minutes long. So when you're on the go and you want to watch more Blue Lions TV, UFF is the app to use. Anyway, you guys, thank you for watching today's video. I'm Nini EFC. This is Blue Lions TV. Signing out.